Yeah, good afternoon, live everyone. Streaming is on. This is the part of TT Global IT's Python bootcamp that we are continuing with the bootcamp session. And before starting the bootcamp session, as usual, code that we are quoting. Uh, just the pandemic is going on, and we are just scared of the life to be living with. So we have to be safe, and we have to stay at home. And this is the time to learn something better for the betterment of our future. And for the quoting of today's, a man who dares to waste 1 hour of time has not discovered the value of the life. This is the quote of today, and for by telling this, we are moving for the today's session. And before moving to the today's session, let us see what we have covered in the previous session. We have gone through the topics like better calculators and dictionaries and while loop and guessing games and for loops, and these are the topics which we have covered in the previous session. Let's start with the exponential function today. Yeah, this is the day 5 boot camp. We are looking at into the day 5 with the exponential function. Yeah, let's start with the exponential function.
Okay, hi guys. So let us start with the exponential function. So as we know that we can do much of the things in Python. So today I will be showing you how to build a exponential function. Exponential function is basically going to allow us to take certain number and raise it to a specific power. So in Python there is actually a real easy way to do this. I can do it with the print command and just do it a multiplication of 2 times using the 2 times multiplication sign. And if you want to do it to the power of 3, then we have to do it multiplication sign of 3 times. In this way I can do the exponential code. This is one of the way we can do the exponential function, but there is also another one using for loop. We have to create a definition. So here, as we can see that I have created a definition, and definition raised to the power base number and power number, and I have kept the result equals to 1. For index in range power number, result equals to result into base number, and then I have returned the results, and now I am printing the raised to the power, like let us use 4 to the power 2. So in this way also we can do the exponential function. Hello.
Yes, these are the two ways of doing exponential functions, and this is helpful for doing the exponential calculations. And let us see the next topic, which is a two-dimensional array. Yeah.
Okay. So here I will show you how to write a two-dimensional and a 2D arrays and how to use the nested loops. So here I will create a basic list and a number grid, and we will put the list into a grid. So let us take an example. Here we are creating an array with a nested grid, and as you can see that there are 4 rows and 3 columns, but the last one is only having 1 column, and we can use and And here I have created a list, and now we will see how to just print the numbers from that 2D arrays. If we want to print the one, then we have to write the rows and column in this way. The first square bracket is the rows and the second square bracket is for the column. So we get the first value 1, and if we change it to the 3, it's not showing because there is no more, because there is no fourth column. Now it's showing the third column. Now we can print the whole row also using this command. If you want the whole row, then we can use this command to print a for loop to print the whole row. And if we want to print the whole columns, then we can print with this command. Here I have used the for loop in rows for call in row and print call. So we are printing the column in sequence. This way you can use 2D arrays and loops to print these nested arrays. Hello.
Yeah, this example covers with a nested array and two-dimensional array. And we are going to cover with the next topic, which is comments.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, for the comment, we use comment to write some hints or comment after the code, so that if we are viewing the code afterwards, we can have a knowledge that this code is used for this, or we can write something else. Writing a comment, we use hash, and we can write any comment like this is a comment. So the Python will not take this as a code. It will be read as a comment when we use this hash tag before any line. Even if we are using any code and we are writing it after the hash, then also it will take it as a comment.
Yeah, like in other languages, as we use the commenting the line code of line, that we are using hash for commenting the line here. And we are going to see few topics related to the classes and objects and building a quiz and modules and trying and exception. Trying and exception is going to be seen in the next topics. Yeah, so let's start with the try except.
Okay, try accept.
Yeah.
Okay. So try accept is a code where we will be trying to do, if the condition is right, then it will print the right thing, and if we are putting the wrong uh, input, then it will give us a error message. So let us do the start with the next code.
Ajay, are you audible? Like, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible. I
Yes,
was
you are doing with the try and exception, right?
okay. Try accept.
Yeah.
So here basically the Python catches the error and it shows us the message. The first code we are trying is yes. So here I have defined a variable and we have to put an integer in this variable, and if we are not putting I have created a accept condition. If we are not putting an integer, then it will show an invalid input. So try and accept. This is a try and accept example. So let us put an example. It hasn't give any error. Now again, let us put something something apart from number. So as we can see that k is not a integer, so it's a giving us a error message, that is it's an invalid input. We can use this to make the Python code little bit user friendly. So let us try another example. Okay. So here what I have done is that I have used a try command and I have used 10 divided by integer. I created a variable called answer that is equal to 10 divided by integer that we are putting, and we have created a condition. If we are not putting an integer or a zero, if we are putting a zero, then it will show us that it is divided by zero. 10 is that is not divisible as we know. And if we are putting something else, then it will say caught any exception apart from integer. Let us try with the zero. If we are putting a zero, then it's saying that it's divided by the zero. If we are putting something like 5, then it's showing that it's okay. If we are putting something like letters, that alphabet, then it will show a error. So these try and accept can be used to show that message to the user in the Python. Yes.
Yes, this is an example that we have having for the try and accept, and this is similar to the try catch method that we are having in other programming languages. So in Python, we are using this kind of programs for the trying an error handling and catching the errors, whether divided by zero error, and these are the examples that we are having for this. And let's start with the modules.
Okay. So modules in Python So modules. So modules in Python is something that it's a function and we can call it, it's a pre-shaped functions that we can call it whenever we are coding. As means as we are doing in machine learning, modules are used in great way. If we don't know any mathematical terms, we can call any modules to just to apply the mathematical part on this. We using just calling by the module, and we can do the all the mathematics part by the Python, and we don't have to go through that module step by step or step by step codes of that mathematical part. We can actually use that module. This is only the small example in the machine learning part. There are also many things where you can use. You can also create a module and you can use it by calling just by calling the module to do the code. Hello, Sunil.
Yes, you continue with the modules.
Yes, yes. Okay. No modules. There is no code. There was only the explanation part. Means what is module? Means
Classes and objects are there.
yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. So let us start with the classes and object. Okay, let us start with the classes and object. Classes and objects are extremely useful in Python, more organized and more powerful. When we are in Python, we are dealing with all types of data. And a lot of times we are writing programs, we are going to have to work with different types of data. And there is essentially like a few basic types of data we can deal with, usually strings, plain text, boolean values. But apart from these, these things are used like list dictionaries, but they are something else also which which we define in classes and objects using that.
So generally, what is class? Class is defined as. What is class is defined as?
Okay, so class
You are writing any blueprint of a class?
yes.
Yes, please write down the blueprint of the class to show the example.
Class and objects,
Yeah.
like when we are using Python, there is list, strings, boolean values, and apart from these there are more things, like we cannot be done with the predefined thing. So we use class means to define something which is not present in the Python, like a list. There is list, tuples, dictionaries, but there is something when we don't need these things but we have to explain something else, then we use classes. So classes is we have to define classes and we can use it. Let us do the code. So, so here I have defined a class called book, and I have defined it as this means for the book I have written is as self, title, author, and number of the pages, that is num pages, and we have created a class, here we have, as we are seeing that I have written that self dot title. So here we are asking the user to input the title into this class and we are also, and that for the author self dot author we are asking the user to enter the author name and the number of pages in the self num pages. So in this way we have defined the class, and for and as we have and now we are going to put the book title, author, and number of pages, and this will put the data into that class. And if we want to print the title or author or num pages, then we use the print command. So by using the print book one dot title, we are able to print the title of the book. If we want to get access the author from the class, then we can just change the print command and we can write it book one dot author. And for the num pages, I have to change it for the num pages. So basically, class is a means. Basically, class, we defined a class when we are not using list. It's similar to something like that, but it's done in our way.
Yeah, class is a blueprint of an object, and we have a class as an object concept here, and in other programming languages too. Similarly, in Python, we are having the structure of the class and the object as this, and here the book is a class, and here the book is the class, and the object is book one is equal to book that we are printing. We are calling the object and printing with the variable like a self dot title is equal to title. We are printing the title of the book, and we are printing the author of the book, and we are printing the number of pages inside the book. This is the best example that we can give it for the library management, where we can have the title of the book and the author of the book and the pages of the book. There we can integrate this part of code for getting this information as an object, and this is the reusability concept is more widely used with the def function, the function which we have used. This type of declaration and this type of execution is helpful for integrating in programming where you are creating some applications for the future. Yeah, like we are building a quiz. Yeah, let's start with the quiz.
So here, as we know that multiple choice question is very famous nowadays. Means we get a question and we get a multiple choice question. So we will be making a multiple choice question. I will be making a quiz, a multiple choice quiz using Python that we give in the test or companies exams. So first I will be defining the variable question. Here we will be giving the questions and their options. So here I have created a variable and given the questions with the options, and now let us create the class. Yes, so I have created the class called questions. I have given the object prompt and answers, and the prompt and we have to give the prompt and the answer in the self dot prompt and self dot answers. Now we are going to define a variable which will contain all the correct answers. This is the questions for the prompt one, and this is the questions name the second question, and the answer is B. Let's close this. Yes. So now we are defining the quiz with questions. The score is 0 for questions in questions. Answers. If the answer is equal to questions dot answer, the score will be 1 plus, and you will get the score. And if it is not, then you will be out of that quiz. Let us run this quiz. So the first question is what color are apples? So let us try it. A. Okay. And the second question is what color are bananas? Let us try it. B. So it's giving me you got 2 out of 2. So in this way, many, as you are giving online exams, these those questions are coded in this way. Let us try if you are doing a wrong answers and what happens. So here, as you can see that my both questions, the answers were wrong. So I got a 0 out of 2. Yes.
Yeah, like everybody needs a multiple choice and questionnaires in the current pandemic situation for giving the kids hands-on training for seeing something like this. And this is how we can create a multiple choice and questionnaires. Can you go for the code part, Ajay?
Yes.
Yes. Please call it out. Yeah.
Okay. So are you able to see that?
Yeah, I'm able to see that.
Okay. So in the first code, I have defined the class, means class, and I have given the name question, and I have defined it, it with the object prompt and answer. What we are prompting means the what answer we are giving, and the answers which will be saved in questions variable. And so after creating the class, and in class, as we can see that there is a code self.prompt. We are creating this so that when we are prompting answers, it will be get a saved. Means we are putting an answer in the prompt one, the prompt answers we are giving, and it will match with the answer that we will be providing beforehand, the self.answers. And in the second, I have defined as question prompts. Means this is the variable which will contains the questions and the options. So the first question is what are the colors, and with two options. The first option is the red green and the second option is the orange. And the second, so here I have created a list of questions, question prompts. And second, I have created a variable which contains the answers of the both questions that we were having. And now, for the scoring purpose, for the quiz, we have defined a function called run quiz, and it will run the questions. When we are starting the quiz, the score is 0. And we have applied a for loop. If the answers input question, the first step, it will ask for the input. And we have to give the answers. And if the answer is correct, then it will add +1 to the score, and it will show us the total score with this definition. And now this last code is for the run quiz questions that it will run this definition.
Yes, make use of this code and create your own quizzes, and that will be helpful for the knowledge to create some programming. And let us see in the next class. And we are going to end the class today's class here. And is there anything, any doubts? Just ping us through the ttglobalit.com, or you can comment us through uh, just a live that we are running. We are ending the live here. Thank you, everyone.